I've been given some questions to answer, so let's answer them, shall we? I wouldn't say you have to concentrate extra hard, just sort of the same amount of concentration as normal. I've played these songs hundreds and hundreds of times, whether that's at gigs or rehearsal or at home on my own or whatever.
Playing your own song is not like learning someone else's, because you wrote it. Kind of sticks in your head a little bit more.
You're always relearning the songs in a way in a band, because like you might be learning old songs for a new set, learning the new songs to put into that set, and it never really ends, I think, in a way.
Also, I've not been trying to sort of match the songs spot on as they are on the album, because we've been playing them hundreds and hundreds of times and we sort of get a little bit bored.
I don't know, the songs kind of feel like second nature. If we haven't practiced them for ages, then you're a bit rusty, but you know, once the music starts, you kind of just it kind of just happens. It's like riding a bike.
Being in a band is a constant process of relearning songs that you've already learned, and maybe making small alterations in that.
Change it ever so slightly in sort of tiny little ways so I've decided to play it that way rather than the original way, because I prefer it that way.
That particular set of songs you play night after night, and so they become very familiar, and it's like muscle memory, I guess. But in terms of other ones, you know, I think I'm always relearning them, really.
Me and the guys got together just before second lockdown, and we had a rehearsal, and then second lockdown kicked in, and now we can't rehearse again. So that was a good 3 hours of rocking. That was fun.
Well, when we first rehearsed this autumn, the first song that we played was actually Death of All, and that was a direct result of actually us doing the playthroughs.
That was Death of All?
Surely because we practiced that for the playthroughs the previous month. That was it.
It was just kind of a song that was in our consciousness, and it seemed like a good one to come back to, and it was upbeat, you know, got the blood pumping. And actually I remember I hadn't actually done a scream vocal in like over 6 months, and so that was quite exhilarating doing that again. So yeah, that was cool. That was the first song we did.
He would say no, it's you know, it's all got a use. I suppose it does have a use. If you watched his rig rundown the other month, there's no redundant pedals there that he doesn't use.
I always refer back to where I'm at the moment on it, and what I mean by that is that I've actually got to a point now where I've tried adding new things, like getting a new amp maybe, or adding an extra pedal. And at first it seemed like fun, but then I realised that I kind of missed the way it was, the rawness of the old sound. So there's kind of this sort of nexus point that I've reached, I think, with my tone, and it's like, and some of that is very planned, and some of that was very thought out, and some of it just happened, and I just liked the sound that was coming out of my amp. And so there's a bit of mystery there, I guess, and I can't completely 100% explain what that is. It's just what I like to hear.
I can understand why he's customised his guitar, because you see how he treats it on stage, and he's not much better at practice. Sorry, Bones. Yes, I do, but I'm not going to tell you them now. You'll have to wait for my rig rundown.
Well, as I mentioned, my instrument, you know, it's unique. And in a previous band, I think I called it something cheesy like the Dark Destroyer, but it was in probably a lot better state back then. The way it is at the moment, its nickname perfectly suits it, and that is, its nickname is the Franken guitar.
I don't actually. I don't know, write in now with your suggestions at Morass of Molasses, PO Box 1213, London W12 6WA. That's not a real address.
Well, obviously writing during a pandemic is difficult, and our predominant way of writing in the past has been in rehearsals and sort of in snatched moments on tour, like kind of sound checks and things like that.
It's different to what we normally do. We're quite a jammy band, so having that taken away from us has been difficult.
So obviously there's been a lot of lockdown over 2020. I've actually bought myself, we've all bought ourselves audio interfaces so we can plug in, play into it, and then send it to each other basically.
We had to completely develop a new way of writing new music, and that became this sort of online version.
Using apps like GarageBand, Logic. I know Phil's got an app on his phone or tablet that you can use to record his guitar. And then we've been using a Google Drive to send each other our ideas and then putting them together.
That's how we'd come up with a version of a song, and some of these songs we jammed little bits of before, so they were familiar, but other stuff is just completely new.
We take each other's ideas and add things to it.
But yeah, so lots of sharing things via Google Drive and Zoom meetings basically.
We've never developed a song completely without being in the same room together.
And then we have 2 weekly meetings where we just discuss how things are going and who's doing what and so on.
Actually, the process worked out quite well, actually. I think at first it was a bit hard to get used to, and then we kind of got into it and actually came up with some interesting results that maybe we wouldn't have in the rehearsal studio.
It's a little bit less pressure as well when you don't have to come up with an idea straight away. You know, you can take it home and kind of simmer on it a little bit.
It's been going all right so far, I think. The new album's more or less written. I think I've got the most to do actually.
In one way, all the songs are done for the album, but what we need to do is take them into the rehearsal studio and do that little bit of extra finessing that we used to do, and then they'll be ready to record in April. The truth is, I don't think we have kept up our stamina, because I don't think there is anything that replicates it really. The nearest thing is obviously rehearsing, and if you have one of those rehearsals where you are deliberately acting like you're playing live, then that's as close as you'll get to it really.
There's nothing like playing on stage, or playing live with other band members, so if you're not doing that, I don't think there really is any way you can keep your stamina up.
But there is no replacement.
It's one of those things where you just have to do it to be good at it.
I haven't. I've been pretty sedentary, let's put it that way.
There is nothing that quite feels like playing live, with the adrenaline and with the especially for us, the physicality of jumping around on stage and all that and interacting with the crowd.
I don't think you can do anything to keep your stamina up other than actually playing live.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of an adjustment, but it won't take us long to get back to where we were.
Next.
In terms of places, yeah, obviously the Face Bar is our spiritual home, but the first place that springs to mind other than the Face Bar is a place in Southampton called the Firehouse.
Firehouse?
Oh, the Firehouse.
We've played there a lot.
Bones told me how many it was a few weeks ago, but I completely forgot.
11 times, which for somewhere that isn't your hometown is quite a lot.
It's always good laugh down there.
Generally, it feels quite easy when we get there. It feels like we're just setting up at a gig in Reading.
Nice little fan base there, and it's a good little venue, and we know them really well, and it's just always a really comfortable show there.
I guess Bradford as well. The guys in Bradford, Iron Rat, absolutely brilliant guys.
I would say that somewhere I really miss is like playing like in the Midlands and up north, and even in Scotland.
Oh, Bannerman's up in Edinburgh as well.
They always make us feel so welcome, so I'd probably have to say there as well.
Our record label is based around there. We normally get together with those guys.
Groups of people that we know really well and have seen us lots of times, and they are friends now really, and I really miss them. I really miss seeing them sort of whenever we'd be on tour.
I mean, last time we were there was a huge sort of after party in the flat above.
It's a big gap, I think. There's a lot missing there, and I really look forward to seeing all those groups of people again. In terms of other instruments I play, the main one for me is bass guitar, and that's actually the instrument I started on. I haven't played it that much recently. I think I actually lent my bass guitar to Raj years when he first joined the band, so that's how long it's been since I played a bass guitar.
I don't play other instruments. I can make it sound like I play guitar, not by physically playing, but by talking about it.
I suppose in previous bands I have played a little bit of keys on recordings and a little bit of piano and a little bit of sort of synth. So I kind of can work my way around a keyboard with a bit of time to work things out. So I can play a little bit of keys.
Other than drums and vocals, no, that's all I do.
Well, yes I do. I play theremin. I started playing guitar when I was 8, 9, yeah, something like that, through school.
I started playing drums when I was 11. Got lessons at school.
As I mentioned before, my first musical instrument was a bass guitar, and I got it sort of in the latter years of school, so I think probably sort of 14 to 15.
Before then, I had a go at learning violin because it was the only thing on offer. So yeah, I played that for a few months.
Yeah, I've been never really looked back since.
I've been listening to a lot of my dad's records, like Led Zeppelin and Chicago Transit Authority, and there's a song by Chicago Transit Authority called I'm a Man, and it's got this really cool bass line on it, and I kind of that I think really inspired me to want to play bass.
Gave up because I don't like violin, and then picked up a guitar. Rest is history.
My favourite instrument, pretty much. So yeah.
I sort of had an acoustic guitar alongside it in college, and because I was interested in starting to get into songwriting, but I would never at that time have called myself a guitarist in any way. It was definitely bass guitar that was at the forefront.
Nope, all gone. Sorry. We ran out of those last year. It was the original pressing that the band actually did, because we weren't actually signed to a label. So the band actually paid for it, and that was through gigging, touring, merch, etc, etc. And they've all gone now. Sorry, you can't have mine. Mine's the only one left, and that's mine. So you can't have it because it's mine. Oh, that's it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit short, but cheers. Bye.